今日もお疲れ様でした。英語で国内ニュースです。優しい英語で今日の出来事をお届けします。
Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi clarified that any consumption tax reduction for food and beverages will be temporary, reverting after 2 years. A cross-party council suggested lowering the tax rate from 8% to 1% in April 2027. The Internal Affairs Minister estimated this could lead to a 1.6 trillion yen loss in local tax revenue.
The Nikkei 225 stock average closed above 72,000 yen for the first time ever on June 22nd, reaching 72,353.96 yen. It gained over 1,100 yen from the previous day. During trading, the index also set a new record high, driven by strong demand for AI and semiconductor stocks.
Israel agreed to a ceasefire with Hezbollah, reportedly under pressure from the Trump administration. Many Israelis believe President Trump disregards their interests. Israel is reportedly preparing for a new military operation, anticipating a breakdown in ongoing U.S.-Iran talks due to lack of compromise.
Riko Uchida, 23, was sentenced to 27 years in prison for the murder and confinement of a 17-year-old high school girl in旭川. The victim died falling from a bridge in April 2024. During the sentencing, a man disrupted the court, causing a temporary suspension. Uchida denied intent to kill.
Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi announced her intention to submit a secretary's statement to the Diet soon. This comes after a weekly magazine reported that her campaign posted defamatory videos targeting other candidates. She plans to provide a detailed explanation based on this statement.
A 5-year-old boy went missing on June 21st at a hot spring facility in Kirishima City, Kagoshima Prefecture. The boy was visiting with his family. Police are conducting a search, investigating the possibility that he may have been swept away by a river located near the facility.
6 people, including a Chinese company president, have been arrested for allegedly attempting to smuggle 49 kilograms of gold, worth 1.075 billion yen. The gold was hidden inside life-size dolls and brought from China to Narita Airport, reportedly to evade consumption tax and other duties.
Typhoon number 7, Mekala, strengthened to a very strong typhoon by 9 a.m. on June 22nd, with a central pressure of 950 hectopascals. Moving west-northwest, it is expected to reach peak strength on June 23rd. Even if it stays offshore, there is a risk of heavy rain across Japan.
Following a fire at a Tokyo elementary school that injured 11 children on June 19th, the Ministry of Education will request nationwide inspections. All municipalities and education boards will be asked to check school fire safety equipment and evacuation drills. The school's monthly drills did not anticipate a fire in the music room area.
Tokyo police arrested 44-year-old Hu Shi, a suspected top executive of the Prince Group, Asia's largest crime organization. He is accused of filing a false residency transfer in April. The group faces U.S. sanctions for international online investment scams. Hu Shi was apprehended in Osaka after being tracked by police.
次は社会のニュースです。
A court in旭川sentenced Riko Uchida to 27 years in prison for the murder of a 17-year-old high school girl. She was convicted of murder, indecent assault, and confinement. A man interrupted the court immediately after the main ruling, causing a temporary recess. The girl was forced onto a bridge railing before falling into a river.
Prime Minister Takeichi's cabinet approval rating has fallen to its lowest since inauguration, now at 55.8%. A survey indicated 43.9% support a 1% consumption tax on food. Over half, 54.7%, opposed dispatching self-defense forces to the Strait of Hormuz. Many found the Prime Minister's explanation on slander allegations insufficient.
Prime Minister Takaichi announced that any consumption tax reduction on food will be temporary, lasting 2 years from implementation. This follows a proposal to lower the rate from 8% to 1% in April 2027. A 1% rate could mean a 1.6 trillion yen loss in local tax revenue.
An Imperial House Law Amendment outline was presented to the House Speaker to secure imperial family members. It proposes allowing female royals to retain status after marriage and adopting male descendants from former imperial families aged 15 or older without succession rights. The government aims for cabinet approval in late June and parliamentary passage by July 17th.
A former company representative in Kyoto was arrested for allegedly misrepresenting Kujo green onion origin. Tetsuya Takada is accused of mixing Chinese-grown onions with Kyoto Kujo green onions, then falsely labeling them as solely Kyoto-grown. This violated unfair competition and food labeling laws for a traditional Kyoto vegetable.
3 people were referred to prosecutors for allegedly filming videos in Shibuya where their chests were touched on the street. These videos reportedly garnered an astonishing 800 million views. The individuals are suspected of allowing these acts for the recordings. The incident is under investigation.
Tokai University Osaka Gyosei High School, a strong rugby team, has recognized a serious incident of bullying within its rugby club. Last year, a club member allegedly choked another member, causing them to lose consciousness. The school categorized this under the Anti-Bullying Measures Promotion Act.
Typhoon number 7 became a very powerful storm today. It is expected to approach Okinawa from June 25-26 and Kyushu on June 27th. Kyushu may face heavy rain warnings from June 23-25, even before the typhoon's arrival. Other regions, including Kinki and Kanto, could also see significant rainfall. Stay alert for updates.
A 5-year-old boy has been missing since June 21st from a hot spring facility in Kagoshima. Police are searching the Amori River, fearing he fell from a bathroom window. The terrain from the window to the river has multiple drops, making it difficult for adults. The search for the child continues.
Japan ground self-defense force Ospreys landed at a U.S. military base in Okinawa for the first time today as part of a joint Japan-U.S. exercise. 3 JGSDF Ospreys landed at Marine Corps Air Station Futenma. They are scheduled to deploy to Miyakojima for ongoing island defense drills across Kyushu and Okinawa.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
The Nikkei stock average closed above 72,000 yen for the first time on June 22nd, reaching 72,353.96 yen. It also hit a new intraday high. Buying centered on AI and semiconductor stocks. However, concerns remain about profit-taking and the Middle East situation affecting future markets.
Prime Minister Takeichi announced her intention to submit a secretary's statement to the Diet soon. This comes after a weekly magazine reported her campaign allegedly posted slanderous videos about other candidates. She plans to provide a detailed response to the House of Representatives Budget Committee once the statement is submitted.
Prime Minister Takaichi announced the consumption tax cut on food and beverages would revert after 2 years. The Internal Affairs Minister estimated a 1.6 trillion yen decrease in local tax revenue if the rate is cut by 1%. Takaichi also stated that participation in minesweeping in the Strait of Hormuz is not predetermined, considering legal frameworks.
Chief Cabinet Secretary Kihara presented a draft Imperial House law revision to the House Speaker. It proposes allowing female imperial family members to retain status after marriage and adopting male descendants from former imperial families. These adopted individuals, aged 15 or older, would not have succession rights. The government hopes for cabinet approval and enactment by July 17th.
China's Ministry of Commerce banned exports of dual-use items to 10 U.S. entities, including rare earth companies, on June 22nd. This retaliates against the U.S. designating Chinese firms, like Alibaba, as military companies. Additionally, China's Ministry of Finance prohibited procurement from 46 U.S. companies, effective immediately.
Japan aims to fully digitalize airport customs procedures by 2030 to boost convenience for visitors, targeting 60 million annual tourists. The plan includes expanding electronic terminals and simplifying cashless payments for duties, creating a walk-through system. Cargo inspections will also be strengthened with new centers at major airports by the early 2030s.
Pension payments increased by 2% from June, with some recipients seeing an 8,000 yen rise over 2 months. However, many beneficiaries express struggles, stating the increase doesn't keep pace with rising prices. Some elderly individuals are actively seeking work or taking part-time jobs to cope with high living costs and insufficient pension income.
The last Dr. Yellow inspection train will fully retire in January 2027. Its duties will transfer to Dr. S equipment on N700S commercial trains. Additionally, the 500 series Shinkansen, once the world's fastest, will conclude its regular service on January 13, 2027, and fully retire from the Sanyo Shinkansen by July 2027.
With less than 1 month left in the current diet session, ruling parties aim to pass the Imperial House law revision to ensure imperial family members, plus other coalition policies. Opposition parties demand thorough deliberation, not just ruling party convenience. Negotiations between the ruling and opposition blocs over various bills are now intensifying.
Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary Sato, leading the government's TEPCO monitoring team, inspected the Kashiwazaki Kariwa nuclear power plant. He urged TEPCO to prioritize safety for Unit 6, which has commenced commercial operation. Sato emphasized the thorough implementation of all safety measures at the facility.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
FIFA staff participated in cleaning the stadium after Japan's 4-0 win over Tunisia. A video on FIFA's official X showed them joining Japanese fans, calling it showing ultimate respect. This tradition of Japanese supporters cleaning up after matches is well known at World Cups. FIFA's X account has previously praised this act of respect.
Following Japan's dominant victory over Tunisia in the North America World Cup, international media are highly praising the team. Host nations like the U.S. and Mexico noted Japan is on the right path, even if winning their first championship remains uncertain. This impressive performance is significantly increasing attention on the Japanese squad.
Japan's national team, with 4 points after beating Tunisia 4-0, might secure a spot in the World Cup knockout stage before their final group match against Sweden. if third-place teams in certain other groups have 3 points or less before Japan plays, Japan will qualify. This possibility comes as 8 third-place teams can also advance.
Tunisian defender Ali Abdi expressed frustration after their World Cup elimination. Telling critics to look at the Japanese national team, he criticized Tunisia's Football Association for unstable team building, including a last-minute coaching change and new players. Abdi stated it's impossible to compete with a hastily assembled team against nations like Japan, who have built their squad over many years.
The World Cup match between Japan and Tunisia on June 21st achieved a 33.2% average household viewership, peaking at 37.0% at the game's end. This was the highest-rated program broadcast this year in Japan. Japan won 4-0, marking their first 4-goal game in a World Cup, bringing their Group F points to 4.
Egypt secured their first-ever World Cup victory, defeating New Zealand 3-1 in their second Group G match on June 22nd. After conceding an early goal, Egypt equalized with Mostafa Ziko. Mohamed Salah then scored the winning goal, followed by a third, giving Egypt 4 points and placing them at the top of Group G.
Debutant Cape Verde, an island nation, remains unbeaten after 2 World Cup matches, drawing 2-2 with Uruguay. They also drew with Spain in their first game. Despite falling behind against Uruguay, a late equalizer secured their second point. With 2 points in Group H, a historic knockout stage qualification is now a real possibility for the team.
Susumu Hara, head coach of Aoyama Gakuen University's track team, fractured his right ankle in 3 places during a TV program shoot on June 16th. He fell from a bicycle. Hara underwent successful surgery on June 19th and will be hospitalized for about a month. He takes responsibility for the accident, hoping his athletes learn from his mistake.
Shohei Ohtani started as designated hitter for the Dodgers, securing 2 consecutive hits, but was substituted in the 7th inning. Fans expressed disappointment and concern, especially given his recent left knee inflammation and comments about not being in perfect condition. The substitution occurred with the Dodgers trailing significantly, leading to worries about Ohtani's health.
Wyndham Clark secured his second U.S. Open title on June 21st at Shinnecock Hills GC. Remarkably, this victory occurred in the same week he announced a new putter sponsorship deal with P&G. His impressive performance at the major tournament highlights a significant week for the golfer, both professionally and commercially.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
The U.S. and Iran held their first talks in Switzerland on June 21st, agreeing to a framework for enforcing a ceasefire in Lebanon. President Trump's social media warning to Iran briefly interrupted the discussions. However, progress was made on ensuring safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz and unfreezing Iranian assets. Pakistan and Qatar mediated the meeting.
Mediators Pakistan and Qatar have announced the creation of a contact network for the Strait of Hormuz. This initiative, stemming from recent U.S.-Iran talks, aims to ensure the safe passage of merchant ships. The network will facilitate communication among relevant countries to maintain security in the vital waterway and prevent further conflict.
The first high-level U.S.-Iran talks in Switzerland ended on June 22nd, aiming for a final agreement within 60 days. Discussions revealed differences on the Lebanon ceasefire and Strait of Hormuz. Iran also protested President Trump's comments. Despite this, both sides agreed to establish a high-level committee to oversee continued progress from working-level discussions.
Iran's Revolutionary Guard declared the Strait of Hormuz closed to all ships on June 20th. Iran accused the U.S. and Israel of violating their agreement to end fighting, citing continued conflict in Lebanon. Despite a June 19 ceasefire, Israeli attacks killed 17 in Lebanon. Consequently, U.S.-Iran talks scheduled for June 19 were postponed amid the escalating clashes.
Multiple UK media outlets report that Prime Minister Starmer is expected to announce his resignation as early as June 22nd. Despite his previous desire to remain in office, calls for his resignation intensified within his party. This follows the disappointing results of a House of Commons by-election held last week.
Ukrainian President Zelensky announced that Ukraine successfully attacked a Russian oil refinery located in West Siberia. The target was situated over 2,000 kilometers from Ukrainian territory. President Zelensky emphasized that this long-range strike strategy will continue to be used to counter Russia's ongoing invasion.
In Colombia's presidential election runoff, right-wing candidate De La Espriella declared victory. He had campaigned on strengthening ties with the Trump administration. His win suggests a new pro-U.S. right-wing government is expected, which could expand U.S. influence across South America.
The Chinese government has announced export bans from China on dual-use items for 10 U.S. companies. This move is a direct retaliation against the United States, which recently added Chinese tech giants to a list of firms allegedly linked to the Chinese military.
U.S. President Trump again criticized Italian Prime Minister Meloni on June 21st, alleging she is uncooperative on Iran's nuclear issue. This follows several days of public criticisms, creating a rift in their relationship. Trump previously claimed he was begged for a G7 photo, a statement Prime Minister Meloni called a fabrication.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
Japan's World Cup match against Tunisia on June 21st achieved high viewership. The average rating was 30.2% in Kanto and 30.5% in Kansai. Japan won the match 4-0. Peak viewership reached 37.0% in Kanto and 37.5% in Kansai, occurring as the game concluded.
Hunter x Hunter will release a new chapter in Weekly Shonen Jump on June 29th, after about 1.5 years. Volume 39 of the manga is also due on July 3rd, the first new volume in 2 years. The series stopped weekly serialization in December 2022 due to author Yoshihiro Togashi's back pain.
Actress Mari Hoshino, 44, will run the marathon for this year's 24-hour TV on August 29th and 30th. Her 10-year-old daughter has a rare intractable disease. Hoshino hopes her participation will encourage people to think about creating a kinder society. She has previously completed a full marathon in Honolulu.
A new anime for Higurashi When They Cry has been announced. The original voice cast, like Soichiro Hoshi and Mai Nakahara, will return. Studio Dean, which animated the series 20 years ago, will produce it. A promotional video features a new visual and a line from Rina, with the message, "Welcome back, everyone."
Actress Ryoko Yonakura will appear in the Tanima Momoko Ballet Company's new Cinderella ballet in August. Yonakura, who studied ballet for 15 years, will play the Mother Butterfly. The artistic director chose her for her strong presence and emotional acting, rather than just dancing. Yonakura initially hesitated for 3 weeks regarding the unusual casting.
Actor Shun Oguri, a father of 4, shared on TV that his children greatly criticize him for not understanding the current sticker trend. The 43-year-old admitted struggling to keep up with their fast-paced interests. He joked about children's desire to assert dominance, but acknowledged it might help develop their competitive spirit.
Kazuya Kaminashi revealed Cat Toon's disbandment in March 2025 occurred very suddenly. He felt a strong duty to maintain the group's identity, refusing to continue half-heartedly. Kaminashi also discussed the unique post-disbandment farewell concert in November 2025, calling it very Cat Toon-like, despite its unusual timing.
A TV program featured Ryoki Tabata, one of two high school players who hit a home run off Shohei Ohtani. Tabata achieved this in the 2012 Spring Koshien Tournament. Currently, he is a YouTuber creating high school baseball content. He also runs a successful custom suit business, earning about 100 million yen annually. Comedy duo Takuro, M1 Grand Prix 2025 champions, shared that their M1 winning act, which named several companies, led to many commercial offers. They have completed about 10 commercials, including web ads, for almost all mentioned companies. Takuro joked that the only company left for a complete set of endorsements is the World Health Organization, WHO.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。